Computers and the internet have revolutionized our relationship to information. Today, you can hold an entire library of books, media, and music in your own computer. Imagine a day when magazine racks, bookshelves, and newspaper bins are obsolete in favor of remote servers and information storage devices that fit in the palm of your hand. I'm going to miss you. Every day, people around the world use computers at school, at the office, and at home. Computers have become a pervasive part of modern life. We use them for a variety of reasons, but computers were originally designed, as their name implies, for computing or performing mathematical calculations. The abacus is the earliest known calculating device, dating back to at least 1100 BC. Each bead below the crossbar of the abacus represents the number 1. Each bead above the bar represents the number 5, or the number of fingers on one hand. You can think of the abacus as an early digital calculator. In the early 1800s, people developed mechanical calculators to do mathematical calculations. They referred to these devices as thinking machines. In 1821, an English mathematician named Charles Babbage invented a mechanical computer called the difference engine. The machine added numbers that had as many as 31 digits. Babbage created plans in 1834 for another computer, which he called the analytical engine. This machine was never completely built, however, because the necessary technology wasn't available at the time. Regardless, the theory behind the analytical engine represented a huge step forward. Babbage envisioned a machine that was programmable and, like the computers to come in the 1970s, operated on punch cards. While working at Bell Labs in 1937, George Stibitz designed the first electrical digital computer, called the binary adder. From a few discarded relays or wires, batteries, contacts, or strips of metal and indicator lights made from flashlight bulbs, the machine used binary code or binary counting. In binary counting, any number can be written as a 1, a 0, or a series of ones and zeros. The computer is directed to each next step through a system of ones and zeros. It's a little like a walk or don't walk sign. Stibitz began building the first complex number calculator in 1939, and this circuit could add, subtract, multiply, and divide complex numbers. Unlike the binary adder, the complex number calculator used more than 400 connected relays. He demonstrated the machine in December 1940. The first general-purpose electronic digital computer, the ENIAC, was built in 1946 for the United States Army. ENIAC, short for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, was an enormous machine that filled a room the size of a school gym. Working together, John Mauchly and J. Presper Eckert designed ENIAC. According to legend, ENIAC used so much power that all the lights in Philadelphia flickered when it was turned on for the first time on February 14, 1946. Even though ENIAC represented a breakthrough in electronic computing, it had limitations, including its large size and minimal programming capabilities. The machine had to be reconfigured manually in order to switch it from one program to another. Princeton mathematician John van Neumann first published the idea that it could be possible to tell a computer what to do without rewiring it for different applications. He theorized that the computer program and the data the program acted upon could be stored in the same memory. In 1951, Mauchly and Eckert, working with the private company Remington Rand, designed a new computer for the U.S. Census Bureau. They called it UNIVAC. It received major attention when it aided pollsters in predicting the winner of the 1952 presidential election. Early computers used mechanical on-off switches, but by the time ENIAC was built, vacuum tubes replaced mechanical switches. The vacuum tubes were faster, but they were large, hot, and unreliable. The invention of the transistor at Bell Labs in 1947 made computer switches faster, smaller, and more dependable. Engineers in the 1960s created an integrated circuit by connecting many transistors. Integrated circuits enabled faster and more versatile computing. In 1964, Douglas Engelbart introduced a new way to communicate with computers.
I don't know why we call it a mouse. Sometimes I apologize. It started that way, and we never did change it.
Engelbart's mouse made computers more user-friendly and paved the way for interactive tools such as the Windows operating system and the Internet. In fact, Engelbart was a member of the team in 1965 that created ARPANET, the first network of 4 computers. Within 20 years, ARPANET was the first transmission network to employ Transmission Control Protocol/Internet Protocol, or TCP/IP. This allowed ARPANET to communicate with other independent networks of computers, creating one big network, the Internet. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee changed the world of computers by creating the World Wide Web, which allowed Internet users to access and share information. Berners-Lee developed hypertext markup language, or HTML for short, to create links between online documents or web pages. This easy-to-use information retrieval system debuted in 1991, and within 5 years, the number of Internet users jumped from 600,000 to 40 million. By 2006, more than 147 million American adults were online. Computers will continue to change with advances in fiber optics or the transmission of signals through glass carriers. The largest copper wire network can transmit only 45 megabits or 45 million bits of information per second. But a fiber optic network can carry more than 10 gigabits or 10 billion bits of data per second, sending information almost instantaneously. Computers have become so commonplace that technical terms once used only by computer scientists are now part of everyday language. Modern computers do so much more than compute numbers. The Internet, email, and the World Wide Web have created a communications superhighway that connects millions of people every day.